All right, what's good? What it do? Pretty bird, my pretty daughter. Man, what's good? What it do? Uncle Pops with the raw truth for the youth. Definitely you grown folks. Wanted to come on live real quick while I was out and about. And I'm super proud of you for you got your honor roll and dean's list at school. That's super awesome. Still super proud of you. I am lucky to be your father. But anyway, want to jump on live real quick. Had a hashtag DBWT moment. Don't be wasting talent. Here's the question. In the beehive of life, which bee are you? Got the orgasmic goddesses on. Which bee are you in the beehive of life? I'm gonna ask that one more time. Which bee are you in the beehive of life? Now here's the selection. And we got to be honest with ourselves. We got to be for real. We got to be for real. In the beehive of life, you have several types of bees, right? And when this is different than the nature bee, but it has some correlation to it. Are you the should be, the need to be, the could be, the wanna be, the gonna be, and the ought to be? Some different bees in this beehive of life. But you got to ask yourself, which one are you? And why are you that bee? Is it that you chose to be that bee, or you allowed some type of conditioning to create you to be that bee in the beehive of life? Are you the should be? I should be doing this, or you should be doing that. You should be successful. Are you the wanna be? I want to be successful. I want to be the spotlight. I want to be focused. I want to be more disciplined. I want to be this. I want to be that. Are you the want to be? Are you the could be? It could be this. It could be that. And that could be makes a lot of excuses. That could be does a lot of complaining. That could be passes things off. That could be is not consistent. That could be uses the word because a lot. You know, are you the ought to be in the beehive of life? Are you the ought to be? I ought to be doing this. And the ought to be and the should be are very close in relation. Some similarities, but very close in relation. Ought to be and the should be. They fly together. They do a lot of things together. A lot of insignificant things together. The should be and the ought to be. They don't pollinate together. They don't work well with others and do things that are necessary. Because they should be doing something. They ought to be doing something. And then that wannabe buzzes around quite often. And that wannabe is also another bee that is not conducive to the beehive of life. It is not a producer. It is not functional. Want to be. I want to be this. I want to be that. I want to be successful. I want to be disciplined. I want to be focused. Are you the wannabe? Are you the should be? Are you, who's best friends with the ought to be? Or are you the could be? That could be, like I said, uses the word because a lot. Look up the word because, break it down, and then go into the etymology of it. Why is it used in English? And why do we use it so much? Determine which bee you are. Because if you're the bee that is not producing anything, if you're a bee that is not conducive to the community that you're living in, which is first your family, second is what other organizations that you're affiliated with or associated with and have memberships with. What bee are you? And then determine whatever bee you are and be for real. Be serious. Be serious. Be for real with yourself and be honest. And then realize why you are that. And then look at the solutions of how not to be that type of bee, an unproductive bee. And how do you do that? It's just a little wild hashtag DBWT thought. Just a little wild thought that I wanted to share. But how do you become a better bee? How do you become significant? How do you become proficient? How do you become efficient? How do you become something more? How do you generate more? How do you give more in order for you to be more? One is by recognizing and being honest and being truthful with yourself. And that we all know, that's kind of common. But then the other thing is, and I ain't saying nothing new, is to be disciplined, to be serious, to be determined, to be focused. That's what it's going to take. Because if you are a wannabe, you can change that. You definitely can. If you are a should be who's best friends with a could be, you can change that. If you're an ought to be, you can change that. But you got to be for real with yourself. You got to be for real with yourself. Now, here's another one. What about that need to be? Who's a need to be? Need to be doing. Need to be. And then you have that must be. And that must be is like a back and forth. That must be is a back and forth between, a must be doing something positive, must be doing something negative, or must be, it's that borderline. It's that borderline B. That must be. Every time something happens, it must be you, it must be them, must be him, must be her. That must be is a finger pointer. The must be is a finger pointer. That should be And that ought to be, them two, you got to separate them two. Because a should be and a ought to be, they have no reasons to be together. They have none. But understand, which be are you? Are you a should be, a wanna be, a could be, a need to be, a ought to be, or a must be? In the beehive of life, where are you? Where are you? And why are you there? And then what is it going to take to get you from being that? Hashtag DBWT, don't be wasting talent. It's Uncle Pops with the raw truth for the youth. I just wanted to come on and share something real quick that just came to mind while I was out and about. I'm going to probably go live and give you something a little deeper, you know what I'm saying, later. What's up, son? My son QB, the main man Quentin. But anyway, y'all stay blessed, stay strong, stay up. Don't think like a 2-minute clock so you ain't got to catch the fuck up. All right? I'll holler at y'all later on another live. But just think about that. Which bee are you in the beehive of life? Are you a should be, a could be, an ought to be, need to be, want to be, must be? Be real with yourself. Uncle Pops with the raw truth for the youth.